my video shut down because I needed to make more room on it, so this is going to be part 2. I started going to these meetings for the pet shelter and learning my environment and doing volunteer work with their fundraisers, and I still have the minute order meetings that I attended, and my name is on them, and I appeared for and helped build the pet shelter with my volunteer work of what I could do was the primer paint inside and the paint color, and I was involved. And I also helped my community with with the help of Petco donating funds to support educational materials for the grammar schools in Madison County. And I have thank you letters from the little kids from one of the grammar schools. All these are letters from the kids at the time, and they're writing to me. From Kind News, I sent them. It's published by the Humane Society of the United States.org. You can find kindnews.org kids literature information by logging on and browsing yourself. I ordered each year with the address of every 3 schools. Madison County has 3 grammar schools in Huntsville, St. Paul, and Kingston. Their address and the teachers' names that they were going to be mailed to. A 4-page literature with cartoon and puzzles and environment awareness to help bring up the morale of the area and awareness and caring about animals and the environment. It was $200 a year that Petco helped me support. The pet shelter wasn't even built yet when I started those, and I was sending them to the schools, and I got thank you letters from the little kids. This was not by the pet shelter doing this. At the time when the pet shelter did open up, it was called Huntsville Pet Shelter, but then now it changed to Paws and Claws Pet Shelter. I have all these thank you letters from the little kids that went to school and received this kindnews.org that they could put in their backpack and take home. So even if their parents did not graduate and they had a low grade average, they could read them. They could see what the kids were getting. And it was really helpful. I think it made a difference for the environment. I was the contact person for the Humane Society in Fayetteville for Madison County. I was posting up spay and neuter awareness that they would promote, and whatever they wanted to promote, my name was on their list for the Madison County contact person. And it's changed hands for the coordinator and people, I think about 3 or 4 times since then. And since it did change names, I met one lady that eventually she worked at the Ozark Humane Society, Shauna, and then she worked here at the pet shelter. And when I met Shauna, it was at a rescue off of 412 for a herd of puppies that were left alone, and dogs that I couldn't get any help from the sheriff's station for, that they were ignoring, and they wouldn't really ever help anything I reported. And I went to the Humane Society and showed them pictures, and they took action and came out and helped these animals. And I have photos of that in my Facebook photo album titled Peace for Pet Humane Association. So I met Shauna, and then Shauna took a job. She left the Humane Society, and then she went to work in pet shelter in one county, and then she came over to our county and worked with us. and she's known me for years. Well, and I knew all the past pet shelter board members for years. Well, now they have different members. Shauna left the pet shelter and she's working in Springdale at the spay and neuter clinic, doing very well and happy there. But unfortunately, I'm being like backstepped from the pet shelter here in Madison County. And it is because the people there don't know me. They don't know the work I've done. They don't care about it. And I went through a really horrible bullying situation last December 2021 there, where they don't answer the phone. They don't answer the phone anymore. And I had come in to look for a puppy playmate for Java, my pug. And the lady at the desk said that the puppy I was interested in was at foster and wouldn't be available for another week or two because they had to be a certain age. And I was saying, okay. And I had filled out an application already on paper. And they didn't want to oblige paper. They wanted me to do it online. And I had to struggle with them. She was very difficult. And then I came back because I saw another dog. And this was on Monday when a different person was there. And she was helping a man bring in a load of dogs that were abandoned in a rental he owned. The lady that rented it left, moved away, and abandoned 9 little dogs. And the shelter was closed that day. So I saw 2 of the most starved dogs that they had, and they were skin and bones, little Chihuahuas, and I know how to take care of malnourished animals that are emaciated, and I had Pedialyte at home to assist in that. I keep it just in case of a situation like this. So I told her I could take these 2 little Chihuahuas, and the first week I had to nurture them a little bit of food at a time, 4 times a day. You can't give a emaciated dog a lot of food at once. You could kill them, you can damage their vital organs by giving them too much food all at once. I gradually introduced food to them a little at a time, 4 times a day, gave them Pedialyte electrolytes to sustain their bodily functions. Their main parts needed hydration, and that was a week of my service. They did not offer me any pet food. I didn't complain about it, not once. And when the time came to adopt, these little dogs were so grateful to me and resting their head and admiring how happy they were. I couldn't let them go. And I told her that I'm gonna take these dogs. Plus, I knew I still needed a playmate for Java. These little dogs were seniors, and they weren't going to be a playmate for Java. So they put out during this, before this happened, I have pictures of it. They put out a post for a holiday deal that they were promoting to clear out the shelter, and they adjust their prices. And in their regular price list, where you could see it, Paws and Claws Pet Shelter in Arkansas, their senior dogs cost less than the young dogs, and puppies cost more than any of the dogs. Okay, so I knew this, and when I went in on the day that they were gonna open doors for this adoption special, they said I was not included in their special. I was not included. I'm the only one that was not included. And then they bragged about how they gave me dog food for my service, and I said, no, nobody gave me dog food. And ever since then, they say now that I don't let them forget about it. But I never even mentioned it. They became very defensive. The desk person, they wouldn't let me speak. I had to stop them from interrupting me several times, saying, let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. And they'd be quiet for a second, and then as soon as I started talking, bam, I was being attacked by 3 people, and verbally. And I said, you have to let me finish talking. You have to let me finish talking, because they said I did not count for the special. All the other animals counted, and everybody else got this December special except for me. I'm the only one that didn't. And so I said, I was reading from their webpage, Paws and Claws Pet Shelter in Arkansas. And I was reading their price list on how it works. And they kept interrupting me. And then, they would say things like, what do you want us to do to make it better? What do you want us to do? And they would not let me get to what I was saying. I wanted to read and point out where I stand. It was a serious battle. I had to take on these 3 women that were charging at me and verbally beating me down. It was really, really bad. And it was abusive. There's just no way around it. It was very, very abusive. I had to stand up and I said, just let me finish reading your page. Just let me finish reading from your page. And then I get to the price of the seniors. And I say, seniors are less money. And I read the price, $50 or $20, they are $25. And I had 2. And the desk person wanted to charge me $200 to adopt the pets that I had. I had 2 senior Chihuahuas that were malnourished, and the veterinarian saw one because she had a bladder infection, and a miniature pinscher pug mix that was puppy age. I had 3 dogs, 2 seniors and 1 puppy age, and she wanted to charge me $200. Point out, she just laughed like it was she or I wouldn't get the dogs. And so I pointed out what their page said, and when I took a screenshot of the Christmas deal that they had, they told me, oh, we're going to take that down. It didn't matter. I was there on time. I was there. It was going to be at I think it was like 9:30 or 10:30. I was there like 15 minutes after the hour that they had it set for. I was early. I was in line, in the middle of the line. There was people back behind me at the pet shelter waiting to get in for that day, and they just told me I was not included. I was on time. I was there the same day everybody else was, but I was not included. So my only way to help myself then was to point out their own rules and their prices. And I said, your prices say $25 for seniors. Then this desk person, well, those aren't seniors. And she had never even seen these dogs. She wasn't even there when they were delivered. She never even saw them, not the ones that I had. I took them that day to my house. And then we went to a vet, and the vet saw her. She had tartar and crud all over her teeth, and it was obvious she was a senior. And we got her medicine for her bladder infection, and it worked. And I told the desk person, yes, she is a senior, and the veterinarian had seen her. She's a senior, and I could prove it because the veterinarian saw her. And she was, no, she isn't. She was just outrageous. And the lady that went with me to the veterinarian, because I was just fostering them at the time, she showed up, and the shelter covered the cost of the examination and the medicine for her bladder infection, so I was escorted. She saw what went on, and she says, yes, she is a senior. She stood up and said, yes, she is a senior. They are seniors. And then I got the price down to $25 each. And she says, okay, Margaret, how about $150 for all these? And I said, thank you, thank you. I mean, that's what was fair, not $200. They harassed me and were so brutal towards me and tried to degrade me in any way that they could. I tried to I know I have done years and years and years of animal volunteer work. To me, it's just first nature. It wasn't for anybody to like me or give me anything special. I wasn't asking for dog food or anything. I was obliging their rules, their conditions, and being understanding. And since then, they blocked me from seeing the Huntsville Madison County Pet Shelter has blocked me from seeing their Facebook page. I can't see it because somebody posted a picture of a little dog that said we did a DNA on this dog, and they showed what the results were, and it was like 10% pit bull. And because I said, oh, well, it's only 10% pit bull, you don't even have to register this dog as pit bull with your home insurance. And that's why they took me away from being able to see, because the one that's really abusive that was behind the desk at the pet shelter, she's labeling all the dogs as pit bulls. I had given the pet shelter an laminated poster of all the dog breeds that America has.